Now we have programmed the drive, we've completed the steps, the wizard is finished, and we want to actually run the drive. So when we run the drive, we want to go into multi-monitor menu. So this is the main menu of the drive. It's very, very intuitive, and we'll go through it right now. Quick setup is the wizards that we went through right now. Monitor is where we want to go when we run the drive, because we want to monitor different values. We want to see where the PID is. We want to see the speed. We want to monitor what's happening, voltage, and etc., etc. So this is the monitor. Parameters is where we want to program additional parameters, which we will go into shortly, and so on and so forth. So to keep things simple, let's go into monitor and multi-monitor. So multi-monitor, this is key, because by default, the drive lets us monitor up to 6 things. As you saw in the introduction of 100 flow, we saw that this drive can monitor up to 9 different things all at the same time, which makes it super simple to use the drive and very intuitive, and you don't need to scroll through menus to view different things, which is beautiful. Right now, by default, the drive displays these values, which is output frequency, PID set point, PID feedback, PID status, motor current, and DC link voltage. For starters, we can leave them alone. But for example, if you want to monitor something else or something additional, such as digital inputs or whatnot, you can select a value that you do not need. For example, we can select the set point, or we can select output frequency. So just for this example, we can choose motor current, because this motor is so small, we don't care for it really. So we can highlight the area that we want to change. You press OK, and then the drive gives you a list of values that you can actually monitor. So it's very user-friendly, and it's right there. You highlight what you want to change, and you scroll down to whatever you need to change. For example, right now, we can monitor, as an example, unit temperature. You can monitor any number of different things. Errors, you can monitor flushing status, reversing status. For example, if we could do auto cleaning, deragging, if the pump allows you to go backwards and forwards to dislodge the impeller. But right now, one of the things that we're just going to pick just to show you how to change it on the multi-monitor is unit temperature. So we click OK, and it gives you the actual temperature of the drive itself, 27 degrees Celsius. So this is an example of how you can change this, and let's run it right now. So when you look at the keypad, in the top left corner, it will tell you if it's stopped or running. The next icon here tells you if the motor is rotating forward or backward. If it's ready to run, it says ready or not, and then the control is from keypad. So if we use the green button here, this gives us a run command. If the stop button is the red button. The function button, if we press it, we could change between local control and remote control, which is selector switches. Or we could change the direction of a motor so that it spins backwards. For example, if the motor is miswired and it's spinning backwards, you could go here and select change direction, and the motor will spin in the correct direction. Very, very simply to do. So we're going to leave it at that. We're going to go back. So we have keypad control, and PID feedback is with our analog input 2. So we want to run it. So let's press run, and the drive will accelerate, as we see here, output frequency. And now we're going to start changing the actual feedback. So we're filling up the water pipe here. The PID feedback increases, and we want to get this over 80 in order for the drive to slow down. So it's going to go, we're increasing it. And once the feedback goes above 80, the drive immediately slows down. and he runs the counter that we programmed, the 10 seconds, below, I believe, 50 hertz, and now the drive, it says asleep. The drive is sleeping. So if this pressure feedback from 88 drops below 60, the drive should wake up, because our set point is 80 currently. So let's decrease it, this value here, to below 60, and the drive starts running. So we saw how the drive runs. Now we're going to stop it and program soft fill. What this means is that the PID controller right now, it ramped up to 60 hertz immediately, but we don't want the water pipes to have water hammer, so we're going to program the drive to do a soft fill of the pipes gently to eliminate water hammer, and we'll show how to do that. So let's stop the drive with the stop button, and we're going to reset the PID feedback to 0 psi. So imagine this is the new application. So what we're going to do is go back to the main menu, and we're going to use logic in order to find where the soft fill program is when it comes to the PID controller inside the drive. So here's the main menu. We're going to go down to parameters, because this is where everything to do with programming the drive is. We're going to click OK, and then as I'm scrolling down to the PID controller that we want to program, you will see how everything along the way, motor settings for full load amps, start and stop if you want different ramp to stop or coast to stop, speed references, ramps, if you want dual ramps, you could go here, input-output configuration. This is one thing that I wanted to quickly mention about input-output configuration, is that we can assign different functions to digital inputs, so we can reduce the amount of wiring for digital inputs, which is great. Going down, we're going to go to PID controller. Once we enter PID controller, we're going to find something called soft fill, and this is where we're going to go. So right now soft fill function is disabled. We want to enable it. So here we go. We have two choices. We can soft fill a pipe up to a particular pressure level, or we can soft fill a pipe with up to a predetermined amount of time. So for our case scenario, we're going to choose level, which is up to a particular pressure level. We're going to click OK. Enabled level. We're going to go back once. We're going to say, okay, now when we are soft filling the pipe, what kind of frequency should we run the drive at so we prevent water hammer? We're going to go in here, and we're going to edit, and we're going to say, let's run at 30 hertz. So 30 hertz, we want to run at the pump minimum speed until the pressure is, we're going to go in the next, we're going to edit this, and we're going to say until the pressure is, so wake up level was 60, so we could say until 35 psi. Just an example here. So 30, 3, then 5, till 35 psi. And this is it. We're not going to do the timeout, so if there is any fault, the drive will fault, and this is it. We're going to go back all the way until we get to the main menu, and then we're going to go back to multi-monitor. So this is where we're going to monitor what's happening with the drive. So let's run it, and we have PID feedback 0, so that means the pipes are empty. So let's click on run. The drive says soft fill. So the drive is running right now at 30 hertz until we see 35 psi. Okay, so everything is done automatic. So we're going to increase the pressure and monitor this second value here until we get to 35. And after that, the speed should increase to 60. Here we go. So we're above 35 psi, we've gone to 60 hertz because now the pipes are pre-filled, they're safe, there's no water hammer. Let's ramp up. And then again, once we go up to above 80 psi, the drive will slow down and it's going to go to sleep eventually. So we could do the same thing with pipe leakage detection. We could do many different things that make this drive amazing and very easy to use and intuitive. And we can monitor up to 9 things at the same time, so it makes this a pleasure to use. It makes this a pleasure for me to provide it to clients, and I hear great things about it with every single user. So thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for being with me in this training session, and thank you for your time. I look forward to working with you, and give us a call anytime. Have a good day.